Hey, Kathy, welcome. Come on in, have a seat. We're just giving everybody a few minutes. Good evening there, Brown Dwarf. Welcome. All right, what's up, everybody? It's J Mac, and welcome to Bigfoot Input. We're gonna do a little bit of a live session here. All right, Kathy's in the house, and let's see, Brown Dwarf's here. Latest upload. Yeah, the latest one is just another cryptid reaction. It's got some good stuff in it. It's more kind of, grainy, sort of more real pictures that the ones that you catch more often. Thank you, Kathy. This is my tree with the Bigfoot topper. If you could see how many Bigfoot ornaments are actually on this tree, there must be at least six or so. And if you're a fan of National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, then everybody knows who that is. And we've got the cat there on the floor, and it's kind of hard to see from here, but the squirrel is in the tree. So let's see what to talk about, guys. Well, first and foremost, I don't know if anyone is aware, but one of our videos went viral over the weekend, and it really has been nuts. I've never seen anything like it. It's always, and it was a silly video too. It wasn't like, a video that I take an hour to work on will get, 500 views, but some silly video that I threw together on my phone gets over 1 million views. It's crazy. But that's the way it goes, I guess. So it was all pretty hectic and exciting. So it was nice yesterday to get back to the basics, which is what got us here. It's what we do. It's cryptid reactions and stuff like that. So it was nice. Let's see. Yeah, it was. It was absolutely just nuts. I've never. So, hey, John's here. What's up, John? John is a long time sub. I think he's been here from just about the beginning. Welcome. Good to see you, bud. Let's see. I'm gonna crack open a beer and we can talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. For me, I was interested today. One of the pictures in our latest video, the second picture is I didn't know exactly where it came from, so it turns out that it's from a guy named Scott Carpenter, and most people probably recognize that name. He was on one of the episodes. Remember, Les Stroud did the Bigfoot series. He was on the Kentucky episode. He was the one that recorded the voices, which I personally don't believe were Bigfoot. I think they were feral humans. But anyway, he was on that show, and he has his own channel. And I met the guy actually. I met him in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. He's a real nice guy. Um, he starts to lose me a little bit when he gets into his rants about portals and dimensions and things like that. I'm a little more logical when it comes to Bigfoot. I'm just thinking undiscovered ape type primate creature, But hey, Brian O's here, man. All the old school guys are coming in tonight. I appreciate that, Brian. I really do. We try hard. Um, I know Kathy's here in Central Florida too. The Bigfoot world, and it's cold. I'll tell you what. I'm broadcasting this from under my Bigfoot blanket because it is chilly outside right now. So it looks like we're gonna have a cold Christmas. So hopefully these skunk apes have a place to sort of hunker down, and not be out in the elements. But yeah, I don't know, guys. What do you guys think? I mean, I don't know where the general consensus lies. I mean, are we really thinking that Bigfoot is an interdimensional creature, um, that travels through portals and things like this? I mean, if you think I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. But I can't get on that line of thinking. That portal from where? What? I know it's unexplained, but it almost seemed like, here's my problem, right? When you take a conspiracy like Bigfoot and then you double down with another conspiracy, time travel, interdimensional travel, you know, then you're just compiling, and I just can't get behind that. I have a hard time with that. Now, like I said, Scott Carpenter, he absolutely believes that. Here's the thing about Scott, though. He has absolutely had some shots that are hard to argue with. He has got some really, really interesting stuff on his YouTube, and just like humans, I think animals. Yeah, and I agree with with Kathy from Bigfoot World. If you guys have not seen her channel, you need to get over there, and on Facebook especially. She has got some really, really interesting stuff going on there. In fact, her and I met a long time ago on, hey, Monster Radio is here. What's up, buddy? Welcome, welcome. We're blowing up tonight. So, yeah, no, seriously, Kathy. Kathy and I met on Facebook, over a picture that she took that absolutely to this day still fascinates me. You'll see it. I don't even know which of my videos it's in, but it's on the Bigfoot World Facebook page. I think it's like the cover, and it is a spot on, clear shot of a skunk ape. Kind of hunkered down in the bush, but I mean, it's absolutely 100% just clear. It's definitive. It's a definitive picture. And are you telling your live streams was more? You know what's funny about that, dude? I've only done 3. Okay, so this is all new to me. I feel like Ricky Bobby. I'm like, I don't know what to do with my hands. So one night, it was a few Fridays ago. Did you really, Kathy? That's great, and as you should have, because it's that good, you know. But yeah, so one Friday night, I was about 3 sheets to the wind, man, and I was like, I'm gonna kick this thing on, and I did, and we had like 8 or 9 people stop by and just started talking Bigfoot, and it was great. And then I did it again last Friday, and it was a little slower. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to try to promote this thing and try to get the word out there ahead of time. And I did, and, here we are tonight. So I'd like to try to do this every other Friday if we can. I can't do it every Friday, but Okay, yeah. I agree with you, Brian. I think that, yeah, between, like you say, brainwashing, cell phones, Wi-Fi, just everything that we're bombarded with, our senses are buried, senses that we could have if we just weren't clogged with all this crap, you know. Yeah, I'm gonna thank you, Monster Radio. I'm gonna make sure that I broadcast that ahead of time each and every time now, and try to give everybody a chance to come and hang out. I mean, a lot of people just have questions about Bigfoot that they want to ask, but maybe that's what you're not here full time. You see, and that's the thing, John, is like, what are they doing? I know a guy who is very smart, but he believes that Sasquatch are time travelers and that they drop into a time period to feed and they move on to another time period because he suggests, thank you, Patrice, and he suggests that there's not enough food source to sustain an animal like that, and I just don't know if I agree with that. Thank you, Brian. I appreciate that. Monster Radio, you know what? I gotta go check out your channel. I'm not even sure exactly what all it is you're into. Obviously, as your name suggests, but I don't know who was talking about the other day. Someone was talking about Frankenstein. Uh, Speaking of Monster Radio, here's a little trivia for you and your friends. I'm sure some of you already know this, but a lot of people assume that the the creature was called Frankenstein. In fact, he's usually referred to as Frankenstein. But the fact of the matter is that the doctor that created him was named Frankenstein, and that was Frankenstein's monster. Monster King, okay. Gorillas were cryptospheres. Yeah, and that's true, Patrice. Gorillas, and actually, if you remember, just it was about 15 years ago, they discovered the Billy ape, Billy Jack. I'm sorry, it's a Billy Jack. They discovered it in Australia, and it's a bipedal primate that they had no clue even existed. Frankenstein, I like it. Dr. Frankenstein. Pause for beer. Oh. So to anybody that missed what happened, once again, one of our videos went viral this weekend. And was it crazy thing? Put ribbons, they get lost, and then move the tree. No kidding. You know what? I think I did recall hearing something about that, Kathy. That's nuts. Did anybody see that picture of the cantaloupe that just hit the Facebook group earlier tonight? I'm gonna go investigate it. But it has this like huge bite taken out of it, like, not like a bear type bite, but like a big human bite. But it's almost 3/4 of the cantaloupe's gone. I got to go back and find that picture. It's nuts. I want to talk about that picture. But so anyway, we made a video a while back of this Russian car commercial, and people were pushing it out there as being real, like they love to do. Right. So I put it all together and I put the car commercial at the end, and I did it as a debunking video. I wanted everybody to see, no, of course this is not real. This thing went just stupid crazy. People were tagging it. There's some sort of only in Ohio joke that's totally over my head. I don't know. I'm not from Ohio. I don't know what they're talking about. But it just went nuts, and we're over 1 million views. Trees pushed down in different directions. Bigfoot World, Kathy. Do you know Florida Bigfoot? I think his name is Mark. Anyway, you should go check out his, go, subscribe to his channel, whatever. Gogway, Gogway, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't that the no, I'm gonna be wrong on that. Never mind. Trespasses. There you go. Brian, it's some sort of joke, only in Ohio, made in Ohio, something to that effect, and it's like being memed and hashtagged, and just, it's everywhere, Hey, Chad, welcome. Anyway, Kathy, as I was saying, this guy actually has an ongoing relationship with a group of skunk apes. He's in the Green Swamp area, and he actually has situations where they will take sandwiches out of the sandwich bags, and they will put the bags back. Where, I mean, it's nuts, the kind of relationship he has with the creatures. It's not like, like, remember with you with the peanut butter jar, and it had a bite in it, so we assumed it was a bear. It's like these delicacies, these things that they take so much care with, just shows you that they're not an animal. They're not driven by instinct to just grab and feed and eat. It's like, they're taking, like, they're unscrewing like mason jars and taking the stuff out of the jars and screwing the jars back. It's crazy. Welcome back, Chad. Last time was a little dismal. Not a lot of people showed up. There wasn't a whole lot to talk about. But this time's a lot different. Yeah, Brian, I gotta be honest, man. It's just, Ohio is not a place that I ever care to visit. If I'm frank, come on, man. I mean, maybe maybe I'll visit there at some point, but I would never want to live there. Yeah, right, Kathy. They gotta eat. That's I'm over here on Highway 42, and I mean, we got black bears everywhere. Okay, so I'm glad you brought that up, Monster Radio. So the rake. We actually just talked about this the other night. Someone was asking if they thought that Bigfoot and the rake were the same creature. Absolutely not. But what I do think is that, yeah, I know, Kathy, we share backyards, honestly. So what I do think about the rake is that you're looking at a mole man. Okay, so just follow with me. Like, there's different levels of mole men. There's like the ancient mole men, and then there's like feral humans. Those could also be considered mole men. But a mole man just refers to a human being that lives subterranean, more underground than above. You would develop things like night vision. You would develop echolocation, that sort of thing. So as far as the rake goes, yes, I believe it's totally a thing. I think it is a cave-dwelling human being. And then, when you get into feral humans, I think it's completely reasonable to believe that it's well within the possibility that these are children that have been dropped off. Like, you go to rural Kentucky. Think about 100 years ago in rural Kentucky, where people would sell their children. People would drop their children off in the woods if they couldn't feed them. So what is to stand in the way of believing that these children were dropped off in these caves, and they survived, and they bred, and they inbred, and whatever, and now you have these feral humans. Scott Carpenter has a recording of these two voices yelling at each other. He believes they're Sasquatch. The music just got really loud. I believe he's incorrect. I don't believe they're Sasquatch. I believe they're feral humans, and a big difference there. And because if you listen to the recording, you can hear distinct. They sound like humans. They don't sound like apes, yelling at each other. They sound like two humans. And I urge you to go listen to those vocals. I would love to post them on YouTube. I will get busted by the copyright guys so hard if I did, but it is available on YouTube somewhere. Oh man, that's one of my that's terrifying to me. A cannibalistic human, yeah. Like we just got back from West Virginia, and I told Q, I was like, I'm taking an extra clip with me. I was like, I saw Wrong Turn. Okay. I'm not taking any chances with these people. I don't know, Brian. I mean, apes. Yeah, yeah, maybe. Um, Definitely primate. I don't know. There was some pretty solid DNA that came back a while back that had chimpanzee in it. I don't know what documentary was that where the guys set the booby trap with the plywood and the screws sticking up, and they got a bloody footprint on it, and they tested the blood and the tissue and everything, and it came back chimp. I mean, this is in rural America, and it was a big, big footprint. Yeah, yeah. Wrong Turn is great until you're in the backwoods of West Virginia, and all of a sudden you're on set. You're in the area, and I'll tell you what, it gets a little hairy, especially at night. I've always said, I mean, there's nothing scarier than human beings. It's just, I don't want to have to encounter a grizzly bear, and frankly, I don't think I want to encounter a Sasquatch in close quarters. But human beings, yeah, they scare me. No, Chad, I don't watch stuff like that. I don't watch Killer Bigfoot. I don't watch Finding Bigfoot. I just don't watch any of those shows. They're not for me. I don't like things that are contrived like that. Yeah, exactly, Monster Radio. You got to run faster than your friend. And I'm that friend. You can run faster than me. And that's what scares me. I don't want to get caught in that situation, where my buddy's leaving me behind. John, thank you, Kathy. I may have to take you up on that one day. Q and I would like to go. John, I think that he is legit. Um, I've listened to a lot of his stuff. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, well, tree structures are obviously not everything is Bigfoot, but some of these tree structures are just like they're impossible to be tossed up by a couple hunters. I mean, some of these things are made out of full-grown trees, and it takes a lot of effort. And then of course, if you go and watch Les Stroud's Survivor Man Bigfoot, he takes you through the math on investigating tree structures, because he's a tracker, and tracking is all about finding the um the variables that don't fit. Okay. And yeah, I mean, some of these tree structures, they're legit, you know. You think the Sasquatch Ontario is faking some of it? What? Like sort of a Todd Standing situation? I've seen a couple tree structures. Kathy, you need to get out. I know you go to places that I that I have never been, but you know we found that footprint. Um, yeah, we found that footprint out off of Highway 44 out there in Cassia. There's a trailhead there, and we found a couple tree structures and that footprint. Yeah, Mike does seem legit. Swan Lake Bigfoot, he has got some legitimate stuff. Like some of his pictures are like, whoa, you know? And I mean, I love seeing guys like that because it's like, if even, you know, people talk about the fake stuff so much. And the fact of the matter is that they don't all have to be real. Only one of them needs to be real. And that's how I feel. It's like if just one footprint cast is real, if just one picture is real, if one video is real, that's all it takes. You know, that's all it means. Fact of the matter is, Monster Radio, I hope that they never find a Sasquatch, because if they do, it's going to be in a zoo, and our hobby is in the toilet. It's over. Okay? Kathy, so if you're on 44 and you go past Highway 42 out Pine Lakes Way, um, you're gonna go about, I don't know, maybe 3-4 miles down that road, and it's up there. You know, it's past the river. It's up there on the left. So I think it's called Cassia Trailhead, and it's not very remote, if I'm honest. Yeah, they will. Monster Radio and zoos just piss me off. Don't get me started. You don't think so, Brian? You don't think that somewhere all it's really going to take is some government agency to really zone in and be like, all right, it's time to catch one of these and put them in a zoo. And whatever zoo they put it in, I mean, the millions of dollars will fly. Will fly. I mean, think about your moral dilemma. Okay, I'm just going to be real now. Think about this. Yeah, someone already has killed Bigfoot for sure, but um, if your local zoo, or let's just say San Diego Zoo, had a live Sasquatch right now, would, I mean, you know, it's easy to say like, oh, I would never support that. No, you'd never support that. But would you go see it? Because for me, like, as well, I hate zoos and I hate the whole idea of it. But this is my life's, you know, um, this is my hobby. This is my passion. So would I go see a Bigfoot if it was in a zoo? I don't know. I'd like to say no, but I'm probably fooling myself. Yeah, Kathy, get out there. You know, it's a nice place. There's a nice lake. You can walk around it. There's some nice trails. It's probably a little more of a beaten path than you're used to, but it is a nice place. You'll be in jail. Yeah, you might end up in there with them, bud. You know. Yeah, that's right, John. That's exactly what it was. That was a good episode. Yeah, I get that, Kathy. Like I said, it's I don't want to say it's manicured. I mean, I think there are I think there's no bathrooms or anything out there. It's not like it's not that manicured, but it is a trailhead. So, you're on a trail for the most part, and they have like the little ribbons, marking the trail. So it's not exactly in the middle of the woods, but I mean, I'm pretty convinced that there's something out there. Like I said, we saw the structures. Um, we took a picture of the foot cast. Or the footprint. Unfortunately, I didn't carry casting stuff with me at that time. We were just out there on a nature hike and came across that big print. So the only thing I could get was a picture of it. Yeah, that's true, Kathy. You could. What about that with the guy in Oklahoma, the governor, Justin, whatever his face was, that put out the whole $3 million bounty for a live Bigfoot, that sort of thing. And it ended up being like some sort of joke, I guess, but it's dangerous, It's dangerous to put that sort of thing out there in the world. It's kind of like the urban legends, they might not be true. They didn't come they didn't come from a true place, but once the urban legend is out there, people will take that shit seriously. I think that, just like Monster Radio said, that people in the past have already shot and killed Bigfoot, Sasquatch, I would say on many occasions, and it's either hidden, covered up. Maybe it's a large oh man, I could go off on a rant about the whole Patty situation, but I think that there was a skirmish there between human loggers and the tribe of Sasquatch that lived there, and Patty was part of a tribe, not just a single Sasquatch. I don't know, Chad. That's a pretty big bear. I mean, yeah, maybe. Yeah, there's a theory that exists that Patty had hidden her baby and was luring people away from her child, a juvenile. But before Patty was filmed, there was reports from the logging community of these creatures and them having, issues with them and them fighting. They're tearing down their home. I mean, so they're defending themselves. Um, and that's what drew attention to that area to begin with. Dog man, huh? I don't know. Kathy, I think I did hear those vocals. If you're talking about maybe a few months ago, it was definitely interesting. Nothing like I had heard before. If you guys go back to one of the very, like, not the very first video we did, but like it was called like Bigfoot and Booze, like the second episode. Kathy, you may especially find this interesting, but it was a Bigfoot account or a skunk ape account from right in um, Deer Haven, Florida, right here on Highway 42, and it's a really good story. Hell no, Monster Radio. I mean, no, all Bigfoot are not gentle creatures, and I had just talked about this on one of the rantings of a madman, that I do, the ramblings, I guess, um, that Bigfoot would consider humans a food source if necessary. Therefore, that makes them aggressive. It's just like polar bears. The difference between black bear and polar bear is food source. Black bears have a more readily available food source because of their environment. Polar bears are starved of their food sources. So that makes them super aggressive. All right. Same thing with a Sasquatch or, whatever, Bigfoot, whatever you want to call them. Take away a food source, deforestation, whatever the case may be. If they are lacking in a food source, they will become aggressive and they will hunt humans. Yeah, now I heard that too. Some people say, "Oh, Sasquatch, they're so nice," and then you hear the Native American stories about them coming out of the woods, stealing their women and children. You know, and again, it's just opportunistic. If even humans think about it this way, if you have everything that, yeah, Brian, polar bears will eat your grandmother, and they won't think twice about it. But if you as a human have everything that you need, you're not violent. You're not out there robbing people and stuff like that. But necessity will push you to do those things. Okay, if you are in need, you'll go out and rob, steal, lie, whatever you got to do to survive. And it's the same thing. I mean, anybody that thinks that Sasquatch won't, eat you given the opportunity, if they are in need of a food source, you are meat. That's all there is to it. Yeah, mountain devil. Yeah. See, you got that right. I mean, and you hear about it all the time. These people in these remote cabins, they're getting boulders thrown at them and stuff like that. I mean, it just depends on the area, the creature itself, not even I don't think you can say species, but the type of creature. But it probably really comes down to personality. I mean, even some tribes of chimpanzees, I mean, it's like some of them are pretty peaceful, others are downright bastards. What was your question? Do you think that we could make peaceful contact? Yeah, absolutely, Chad. And I mean, I think, and people have. Many people have. But you are risking your life by just going out into the woods and trying to make contact, I mean, it might go well for you. It might not. Juniper Springs, huh? Yeah, I buy that, Kathy. It happens all the time. Yeah, I believe that too, John. I mean, I've heard some stories that come out of these mainly logging sites. This is what really pisses off Sasquatch is loggers. And I mean, I've heard some stories where these guys are just downright evil. And I mean, again, can you blame them? I mean, we're out there cutting down their homes. Yeah, did you guys see that movie, The Revenant? Can you imagine that shit happening? I mean, that's horrible. They is absolutely bears are just absolutely terrifying creatures, and they've got my respect. I think it's like any creature, Chad. It's just like we shouldn't be out here feeding these creatures and you know really even interacting with them. I mean, yeah, everybody wants a picture. You know, what's up, Lynn? Everybody wants a picture, everybody wants a video, but it's like some of these people, it's like if they're being real with us, I mean, maybe they're interacting a little too much, you know? No, I didn't hear that. But if you ever watch the Grizzly Man Diaries, I mean, yeah, same. They had the recording device going all night when the grizzly came into their tent and killed both of them. And that audio still exists in the world. Someone was telling me that it was released recently, but I heard that the audio was left in the care of one of Timothy Treadwell's close friends, and that he swore he would never release it because it was just too gruesome. Well, think about it, Brian. Think about, again, I fall back on the bear analogy because it's easy, but like, black bears, Florida black bears versus other black bears versus grizzly bears, polar bears, sun bears, panda bears, whatever. Each of these creatures has adapted and evolved to their own area and the needs that they need to fill. So, whatever it takes. No, I don't, I don't think so either. Monster, it's as I get older, I get a little more empathetic to the things in the world. When I was young, yeah, I guess I probably would. I didn't care. I would listen to something like that, and it wouldn't really faze me. Now, I'd probably be up at all hours of the night with that ringing in my ears. Yeah, no, not me. I'm sure there are people, but so with the holidays approaching, do you guys think that Sasquatch have any sort of holiday that they celebrate, or is it all just like birth, death, eating, surviving, that sort of thing? You might be right, Kathy. I mean, I don't know. I think everybody has their own energy and frequencies, and you know, some people you're on that level with, and some people you aren't. Now, whether you can physically, you know, stop people from seeing you or not, well, that's I don't know. That's for Sasquatch to know, I guess, and us to find out. But think about things like like iguana. I mean, not like chameleons, and even like the like certain like bugs and different creatures. They just completely blend into their environment. Who's to say that Sasquatch doesn't have these same capabilities? You think they have meetings? Yeah, they might. I bet they get together and they talk about shit. They probably talk about us. Brian, I'm gonna assume that you're talking about how to hunt. Uh, wow. I don't know what to say. I don't like saying negative things about, people because, well, it's just not nice. But I don't like his channel. I don't watch his. I did watch his channel a few times. I don't think he ever gets anywhere. He just always kind of reads these stories. There's never any like pictures, like good pictures and stuff. He just doesn't. It's not entertaining. And he always just reads some emails that he gets from somebody, and it's just, and he always has like this big reveal that he's gonna do in a couple weeks, but he never gets there, and it just, I don't know, it bores the hell out of me, if I'm honest with you, and that's all I'm gonna say. I don't want to talk bad about the man. He's doing his thing, and he's successful at it, but it was the encounter Bigfoot, and the Bigfoot was like, do you think? Yeah, Chad, I do think that. And as a matter of fact, there have been instances in the past where that has been recorded. What about that little boy recently that got lost in the woods, 4 years old, and found his way out? And they asked, "How'd you find your way out?" And he told them that a bear brought him. Well, I don't buy that. I don't buy that bears have that sort of empathy. I think a Sasquatch brought him home. Yeah. Are you serious? I thought that he had told the media that it was a big hairy bear that brought him home. Yes, anyone can learn any language given enough time. Yeah, and Kathy, I no, my internet just like stopped. Yeah, you know what's funny? Like I honestly thought, I was like, oh shit, the government heard us. Like they're shutting us down. There was that one story of the guy. I haven't dug into the story fully, so I don't want to say too much. But he like took the video of the giant up on the mountain, and or and like he claimed that he was being followed by black cars and things like that, and then he released a TikTok saying that it was all a hoax, but like his body language, he was acting like he was at gunpoint, and and then I don't know, the internet rumor is that he's dead now. But like I said, I don't want to spread that rumor because I don't know that for a fact. And you know how the internet is. Yeah, that's what I heard too, John. I don't know how true that is. Kathy, I don't know how you do it. I mean, I I won't even take a nature walk on a nature trail without packing bear mace and a knife and my pistol. And Florida has like strict open carry laws, so it has to be, you know, on the down low. But His girlfriend said he was depressed. I didn't catch that. Are we talking about suicide? Is that what possibly happened? Because again, it's a story that I've only heard bits and pieces of. I haven't actually got into following it, but yeah, maybe one of these days I'll do a video on it. Colorado Bigfoot. Yeah, Brian. I've seen some of his stuff, and he's another Scott Carpenter, whereas he really is kind of far out there, and he's into the dimensions and portals and different things like that. But he does have some solid pictures. I mean, you can't argue with evidence, you know. I mean, he's a weirdo for real, like for real strange guy. And I don't he doesn't entertain me. I don't, you know. But that his pictures aren't real. I mean, he really does have some good stuff. So I got to say that he's on to something. Yeah, I did hear about that, Chad. That I think that was also in Oklahoma. um, yeah, that guy was whacked. He said that Bigfoot told him to kill his fishing partner, so he did. I mean, I don't know. If Bigfoot told me to do something, I might do it too. You know, they're pretty intimidating, but yeah, I mean, we are, Brian. I'll give you that much, but I mean, this guy, he's a real wackadoo. Thank you, sir. Yes. Yeah. Merry Christmas. Shitter's full. I was just telling everybody, I think before you got here, I have Cousin Eddie and I have the burnt cat from under the chair, if you recall that. And I don't know if you can see it or not, but there is a big squirrel right in the middle of my tree, kind of up high. Big fan of Christmas Vacation around here. Carpenter has a picture of a white creature that looks like BS to me. Um, and then he's got that picture. Actually, you guys told me that picture, the second picture of my last video, was Scott Carpenter, and I did not know that. If that is true, I had multiple people tell me though. Um, it it honestly it looks like Fiona from Shrek. Like I don't know that it's a Bigfoot. It's obviously a face. And and then he's got that dog man from his reverse camera. And none of them are great. None of them are definitive. I mean, I respect the guy, you know, but he's a little weird to me. Play ball. Don't throw me down, clock. You know, yeah, I agree with you, John. His stuff's weird. Yeah, you know, Monster, we were just talking about that the other day about pareidolia, and it's a blessing and a curse because the skeptics know about pareidolia, you know. So every time a halfway decent picture comes out of Bigfoot, it's all pareidolia. It's pareidolia. So, but then we need to use objectivity as Bigfooters. and understand that not every fart in the woods is a Bigfoot. You know what I'm saying? I mean, sometimes it is pareidolia, and we just have to sort of sort these things out. Um, so it gets tricky, you know. So you think that too? See, I where it was dropped. I don't know. Yeah, I agree with you, Brian. I think it is the best Christmas movie ever. I love it. I honestly, his Dogman photo, it doesn't impress me. So, yeah, it's just a bunch of, I don't know. It's a little. It could be a tree stump. You know, it could just be anything. That's the problem. I've seen far more definitive photos, but he seems to gain a lot of popularity somehow. I think the neighbors are so underrated in that movie. Julia Louis Dreyfus and the guy, they're such great straight men. You know, it's awesome. So you saw a dog man, huh? See, I'm still on the fence with dog man as far as existence. If I'm honest with you, I did not see that one, Kathy. I'm gonna have to go check that. What did Thinker Thunker do, Ginger Ninja? Welcome, by the way. Opinion on the grafted monster. My opinion would be that I have to do more research to actually develop a real opinion. I was just in West Virginia and I went to the Bigfoot Museum, and they have a museum for the Flatwoods Monster, which happened right there in Flatwoods, West Virginia, obviously. It was closed while we were there, but it looked interesting enough of a subject to look into. Yeah, unfortunately, I think I offended a lady the other day. She's faithfully been sending us photos for, like a year, and they're all just of trees and bushes. There's nothing there. And I finally just had to be honest with her. Yeah, that's true. He's a very religious guy. I didn't see that, John. They're sitting there at the dinner table talking about how they should have got a Christmas tree. That's great. Bend over and I'll show you. I wasn't talking to you. Let's see. Yeah, I can't stand when they mix religion with it. Hey, look, I don't condemn anyone for their religion. You believe whatever it is you need to believe. That's fine, and I'll do the same. But I just, to have it thrown in my face all the time, um, and that takes you back to the Nephilim. Every time you talk about Bigfoot, there's always three or four people that stand up. Oh, it's the Nephilim. All right, yeah, whatever. Uh, it's just I don't want to talk about some 2,000-year-old fallen angel, being smelly, hairy creature that lives in the woods. I just I don't want to talk about it. It's not to me. It's not a subject. Yeah, I suppose they could, Chad. I wouldn't imagine it's that prevalent though. Doubtful. Hey, Johnny on the spot. What's going on? If you guys dig this music, it is the Relaxed Movement on YouTube. It's non-copyrighted music. That's another subject that I'm just really on the fence about as far as skinwalkers. Yeah, fence. I got to sit in the middle on that one. Funnily enough, that actually Post Malone was saying that they had spent some time very near the Skinwalker Ranch, and he had some stories. I was surprised to see, a young man like that in the spotlight sort of open up and talk about it. Skookum, yeah. Actually, we were talking about that earlier. Yeah, well, I do, Ryan. That's good. Thank you. I was wondering what your name was. I do believe it's just a flesh and blood creature. I believe it's an undiscovered primate creature. Very elusive, very small numbers, probably 3 to 5,000 in North America. Subterranean, so mainly cave dwelling. So add those things together, and that's why we come up with 3 or 4 pictures a year and a couple of videos. Um, Kathy, I really hope to. I think it's next year, right? In like April or something like that. I really want to go. I've missed every conference so far in the last year and a half just due to finances or schedule or whatever. So yeah, I do hope to be able to go. Um, I hope to make it. Christmas is my birthday, so I hope to be making my way down south to the Skunk Ape headquarters uh, for a little birthday trip. I'd like to meet Dave Shelley. I don't know if it'll happen or not, but I definitely want to go down that way. Are you really? Congratulations. Well, you've earned it. You definitely put in the research and the time and effort. So, yeah, I hope to be there too. I'll definitely let you know one way or the other whether we're going. I don't know, Ginger. I've also heard that sometimes it comes back chimpanzee. So it just depends. DNA is one of those things where it's only as good as the people that are doing it. You know, if that makes sense. And then also, do we really know that DNA is 100%? I don't know. It's kind of a little bit of a gray area when it comes to the science behind it. Ryan, some people they think, yeah, well, why haven't we got a clear picture? Yeah, because there's thousands of them just walking around, right? With that, and then on top, then you get the other side of the spectrum. Some people think that there's one Bigfoot, like there's just one creature. It was photographed 50 years ago, and that's it. It's dead now. So thank you very much, Brian. I appreciate you saying that. And Merry Christmas to you too, you and yours. And yeah, I hope to continue putting out content that people enjoy. Um, it's um, it's rewarding, albeit a little taxing, but hey, I saw that, Kathy. That is neat. That's a neat print to have. So I'm gonna try to do this every other Friday, guys. I can't. Thank you, Kathy. I appreciate that. I can't do it every Friday due to commitments, but I hope that every other Friday I can do this. For at least an hour or so, and we can throw some stuff at the wall and see what sticks. I hope to be there, Kathy. I'd like to see it in person. Of course, I could just knock on your door, I suppose. Good night, John. I really appreciate you showing up, man. Thank you. Merry Christmas to you, buddy. Ooh, I like free. I'll sneak in the back door with you. So yeah, Ryan. I'm on the same page with you. How is that possible? You know, just because you got a patch of woods doesn't mean there's a bear in it. Um, so why would there be, a Bigfoot or a dog man just anywhere? No, they're centralized in certain areas, and then they're very prevalent here. Um, I love that joke. They're very prevalent here, but not in the European countries. Well, then you have to get back into a discussion about the land bridge and things like, oh yeah, absolutely, Kathy, please, I would love to go. So I'm planning on going, and if I can go for free, hell, that's even better. But yeah, we would have to have a discussion about the land bridge and where they were in that part of evolution, and just blah blah blah. Retracted comment. Didn't know you could do that. If you can, put me down +1. Um, my partner in crime will be coming with me if I get to come. Or you have one ticket left. I'll buy her a ticket then, because we'll be coming together for sure. But I thank you for that. All right, Brian. Stay warm up there, dude. My goodness, you guys have got to just be freezing your nads off up there. But yeah, good night to you too, buddy. Throw another dog on the bed. You're gonna get me too. You're awesome, Kathy. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. I owe you one. Every area. How could they pass every area? Even if they do migrate, which has been suggested a couple times, and that might be true. I don't know. I'm sure that maybe they don't like the cold. Maybe they come down south, but I would imagine that they stay to a certain area. I mean, you can't just assuming that they can't portal travel. I mean, you can't go from one wooded area to some other wooded area that doesn't have cover for you to hide in, if that makes sense. Well, welcome, Frumple feet. Interesting. What does that mean? We had a little internet issue that shut us down for a few minutes. That may be what you're talking about. Okay, so that's a good point, Chad. What if they use cave systems to migrate? Okay, that's great. That's very plausible. I mean, there's so many miles of cave systems underground that we just don't know about, because we don't. We just, hell, what, we just discovered that one thing in like Vietnam or whatever, the cave that has its own ecosystem. So there's just a lot that we have no clue. Osprey, Florida, no kidding. A bunch of Floridians. There's a big skunk ape um, uh, population here in Florida. And it seems like every time you mention a state park, somebody has seen one in a state park. No, I don't think they hibernate. I don't think that's possible. I mean, there's absolutely no evidence that suggests that they hibernate. Now, migrate, maybe. Maybe moving to more plentiful food sources, yes, but no, not hibernate. Yeah, they probably went north. Alberta, British Columbia is a huge, huge hotbed. I think chupacabra has to be a thing, which is most likely just some type of dog creature that hasn't really been documented. I'm sure that there's some sort of Loch Ness monster, Tessie Champ sort of creature. Although I know people that are personally from the area of Lake Champlain, and they say that there's absolutely no way that Champ is real. But I think that there's so much underwater that's unexplored. There has to be something to that. Yeah, Mothman was totally a thing. Um, and I think that if you talk to the people in the area, the Point Pleasant area, Mothman was most likely some type of government experiment that went bad, that escaped, that got loose, and 13 months after it got loose, they were able to capture it and either exterminate it or bring it back in, whatever. But there actually is an abandoned bunker that is right there in or near Point Pleasant, and a lot of people make the assumption that that is where the Mothman was created. Sorry. Ryan, where is that? The Malagon monster, is that Arizona? Chad, Bigfoot, all every day, all day. Bigfoot. Yeah, Ryan, I mean, I think it's easy to dismiss them as being dogs, mangy dogs, some sort of dog breed without hair, but that doesn't explain the cow carcasses drained of blood. I think that's where the real chupacabra myth comes in. Chad, Bigfoot, dude. Come on. Bigfoot. You see, I haven't heard of any Mothman sightings. I mean, outside of the 13 months in, what was that, 1964, something like that. Arizona, yeah, okay, I thought so. 5, just keep up with the number. How many black bears does it take to defeat a Bigfoot? Well, I don't know. I'm yeah, at least 10. Come on. Yeah. Yeah. You ever seen black bears? I mean, there's two different kinds of black bears too. There's like southern black bears. Yo, New Zealand. What's up, ants? Um, Southern black bears are skittish, man. They're like puppy dogs. I mean, you stomp your foot at them, they'll run. Now you get into some of the higher states, black bears get a little more aggressive. Yeah, three grizzlies, man. Grizzlies are just brutal. I think chupacabra is a thing. I think I think we have enough evidence to say that. I'm gonna tell you something. If you guys haven't checked out, actually, I specialize in Mothman. Yeah, I watched Lyle Blackburn's thing about Mothman. I mean, I'm gonna go with Yeti. One polar bear, Yeti. Yeah, polar bears. That God, they're nasty. There was that one guy. I don't know. You guys watch Mr. Ballin? The story that came out recently about the dude that went on like this big nature thing in the Arctic, and he got woke up in the middle of the night by these two big arms reaching into his tent and dragging him out. And then he felt some pressure, and he heard two cracks, and the cracks were his skull and his jaw being broken. And he said all he could smell was rotten fish, and it turned out to be a polar bear. It drug him like 200 feet down to the water, the shoreline, just to eat him. He ended up surviving because somebody shot it with a flare gun, but it's a crazy story. Yeah, we're rocking it tonight. We're over time. I was gonna shut it down at 9:30, but we were having such good conversation. All right, welcome Nicholas from Melbourne. Yeah, that Ontario clip that Thinker Thunker just did, that shit's hot. Woods and Lakes sub. No, I do not, Kathy. Is that Umatilla way? Merry Christmas, Johnny. Oh, subdivision. I mean, I was thinking subs, man. That sounds good. No. Woods and Lakes. No, I don't. Ocklawaha. Okay, gotcha. Okay, Ocklawaha. Yeah, that's somewhere nearby, right? Nearby Lake George. Thanks for asking, Chad. I pretty much recognize most of the names here tonight. Thank you, Ants. Thank you very much. You know what's crazy is that 82% of the views that we get are from unsubscribed viewers. 82%. And I'm like, come on, guys. Like, you can't push the button. Like, just push it. It's free. Roll out. Cool, man. Hey, Ryan, nice talking to you, buddy. Yeah, come back and hit us. Join us every other Friday. We'll be here. All right, guys. Me too. I've already ran a half hour over what I said I was going to, so I got to move on to other things. But I really appreciate everyone showing up. And Kathy, special thank you to you. I really appreciate that. And I am going to shut it down. Now, like I said, we're going to try to do this every other Friday. Varies behavior from coast to south. Yeah, absolutely, Nicholas. Yeah, live's going to be shutting down here pretty soon, Chad. So, yeah, Nicholas, absolutely. As we discussed, just like bears, whether it's a southern black bear or, um, large grizzly bear from, the Midwest, you're going to see behavioral differences, physical differences, the way they move, act, coat, gait, just everything. So, all right, guys. I'm J Mac. Keep squatching.